Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's another day that the Lord has made, and I'm so excited that with a new day, He gives us new mercies, y'all. We have another chance to walk in faith, to walk in obedience, to submission and surrender to God, and to operate in love. All things, y'all, we must do in the spirit of love because God Himself is love. I'm thankful for you on today. I'm just amazed at God. He's so good to us. This word this morning, this servant of grits, as we get ready in the spirit, is going to bless somebody who is in a place of real warfare. Sometimes we get in a place where it seems like everything is against us, where it seems like there has been a hit on our spiritual lives, and there have been many demons and many wicked spirits assigned to rub us out, to take us out. But I just want to let you know this morning that there are more with you than they are against you. And why can I tell you that? Because in the Bible, we see the account of Elisha and his servant. And Elisha had a hit on his life because Elisha was a man of God. Elisha walked in holiness and righteousness and godliness, and his life was full of godness. He performed miracles. He spoke warnings. And sometimes when God has separated you and made you to do something that is not the norm, or sometimes when you are standing up for the truth, even when everybody around you has bowed down and conformed to the ideology of society, sometimes the powers that be will send their army after you. And this king of Syria did not just send one or two soldiers. He sent the entire army after Elisha and his servant. And sometimes I feel as well, because none of us are immune, that sometimes it seems like the whole world, it seems like all of the world has turned and has started to track us and to hunt us down like we're, some type of prey. But there's something that happens in this account that gives us assurance that there are more with us than that they are against us. While they were waiting, Elisha's servant had been gripped by the spirit of fear. He was very concerned about the future of their livelihood because he knew full well that there is just only him and Elisha. He knew that there was no way in the natural realm that he and Elisha could escape this, that they could survive this, that they can move forward from this. He knew it was impossible to be able to stand with two people against so many obstacles. They had chariots, they had horses, they had swords, they had bows and arrows, and Elisha and his servant had nothing but each other. So Elisha's servant got in a place of fear and got in a place where he became anxious. And he said, Elisha, pretty much we're going to die. And Elisha prayed a prayer that was so magnificent and so powerful. He said, God, open the eyes of the servant. And when God granted this prayer, the servant looked around and saw chariots of fire that he could not even count, surrounding them and encompassing their enemy. Sometimes in our trials, sometimes in our tribulations, our eyes have scales over them where we can only see the problem. We can only see the sickness. We can only see the path towards divorce. Sometimes we can only see, offenses and lies and that are being told. Sometimes we can only see that our job is at stake. Sometimes we can only see that, we're not going with the status quo. So even people at church don't deal with you. Sometimes that's all we can see. But I pray even on today that God remove the scales from our eyes and that we see in the spirit how God has encompassed us with protection. It does not matter how innumerable your enemy may be and what form it comes in. The Bible says no weapon formed against you will prosper, and every tongue that rises up in judgment will be condemned. Sometimes we can only see in the natural. But if you love God and you're walking in obedience and you're doing everything you can to present a life that glorifies God, not even glorifies ourselves and glorify our ministries or glorify our positions, glorify God. If we really live in that truth, that we were made to glorify God, then you can trust and believe that when trouble comes, when sickness comes, when adversity comes, when conflicts come, when loneliness comes, it doesn't matter what it is, when it comes, there's a line drawn in the sand and it can go but so far. And I promise you, the presence of God will always outnumber the presence of your problems. The presence of God will always outnumber the presence of your enemy. The presence of God will always outnumber the presence of your enemies. The presence of God will always outnumber anything and anyone that comes against the true children of the Most High God. I'm encouraged. I don't know about you. The Bible says that those who live righteous will suffer persecution, that the righteous suffer affliction. And we see so many times in the biblical accounts of men and women of God who suffered. And you know what the Lord shared with me on yesterday? Even in suffering for Him, we're not worthy to do that. It's an honor to suffer for God. It's an honor to be persecuted for righteousness and holiness. So yes, if we are true children of God, we will face persecution. We will see warfare. There will be many Goliaths in our lives. There will be many giants. There will be many fiery furnaces, many Red Seas, many wilderness, many Pharaohs, many Herods, many Neros, many Roman soldiers. But that's all right, because the presence of God outnumbers, hands down, any amount of trial and tribulation that you and I could ever face. If we would just submit, and let me tell you this, and I'm trying to go, but if we would just submit to God. Elisha and his servant enjoyed the protection of God because they were obedient. And I don't know about you, but my prayer over the last 3 weeks is, God, help me to surrender. And the more I pray it, the more I see the destructiveness of my own will. But even in that, the presence of God is stronger than victorious flesh. And if our heart is pure, Jesus said the pure in heart will see God. And He was not just talking in the hereafter. we'll see God just like the servant of Elisha, when our eyes are opened and we can see that if God be for us, nothing and nobody can be against us. So be encouraged. And I pray that God opens all of our eyes so that we don't focus on the coming of our enemies, but that we can see in the spirit and discern in the spirit the chariots of fire and the angels that are already commissioned on our behalf to fight for us. Be still and see the salvation of the Lord. I love you all. I love you all. I pray that this blessed you. Oh, I'm getting full. I got to go. I pray that this blessed you. I pray that this encouraged you. And I pray that you help me get this to as many people as possible. Y'all, there are many of us who are frustrated. Many of us who are on the brink of giving up. Many men and women of God who are getting ready to throw in the towel because they think that there is no way out, that there is no step in front of them. I've talked to so many, and even I have felt that. But y'all, God is not slack concerning any of his promises. And he's with us. So I ask that you share this with your pastors, share this with whoever, share this with everybody who is striving and who is at a place where it seems like they are outnumbered. I pray that eyes are opened this day. Whoever you are watching this, I pray that whatever you're going through, that your eyes are opened and that you see that the presence of God outnumbers everything. Everything. I love you all. Y'all be blessed in the Lord. Y'all, some great things are getting ready to happen. We just got to hold on. We got to hold on. Y'all be blessed. Have a great day.